All right, hey, how's it going? I'm here with Daniel Jaimes. Daniel,
Yes,
what
sir.
is your opinion of the amount of time that you put into a work or an art project and the actual price point that you set that artwork?
Oh, shit. That's a good question. Matter of fact, when I get done with Wondercon, because this has been a very wild and fun weekend,
Absolutely.
the next one's going to be more fun. It's called Yuri's Night. It's a space celebration event at the California Science Center where you get to celebrate the world of space exploration. We're gonna have droids and drinks. We're gonna have
Sounds cool.
we're gonna have aliens and astronauts. We're gonna have Trekkie fans. We're gonna have Star Wars fans. So they're gonna like get into it, and you get to party under the Space Shuttle Endeavour. And I'll be there live painting as one of their featured artists.
Cool.
And it's a celebration. So I welcome everyone to come down there.
All right, so Yuri's Night and what else? Anything else?
So Yuri's Night is April 8th. Okay. And the second one is it's going to be April 22nd, I believe.
Okay, cool.
At the Catch One in LA. It's called Pancakes and Booze, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
Fair enough. So we have astronauts, we have booze, we have pancakes, we have everything. Once again, Daniel Jaimes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What is the next event or places that we can see your artwork at?
Well, it all depends on what I'm going to put together. But when it comes to pricing it, my talent speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So I can definitely price at anything at any price I want, but within reason.
Yeah.
Because I feel like how much time I spend into it, it could be whatever I want because that's what I do. I draw who I am and I paint who I am. So people can appreciate it. Great. If not, then the hell with them. They can just move on to the next guy or the next artist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very well said. Hey, how's it going? I'm here with Tomas Overby. Tomas, do you ever feel like pressured to do characters from popular culture versus like following passion projects like original characters and ideas?
I've been working for the last 10 years on my comic book called Ichido, and I'm hoping to have it out in the next year. That's my deadline, is to have it done by Emerald City.
Cool.
It is the comic that I have always wanted to read, but that nobody else has made it. So after going into every comic book store, I finally just, I'm just going to make it myself. And so
That's
now,
awesome.
and in talking with other people and getting it out, I just feel so good about it.
Yeah.
And then that just helps to kind of push down that fan art and get back into what drives me as an artist. I want to, I don't want to share another Last of Us painting or drawing. I want to show you a brand new monk Ichido drawing that you didn't even know existed before, and so that's why I just want to create new stuff, rather than just redraw other people's creations. I have stories to tell. I have
Awesome.
characters to create, and
we
and
have
worlds
stories
to
that we
build.
want to read.
So I feel just so lucky and blessed to be at this present moment in time. There is no better time than right now, and I feel ready. I feel ready to put it out.
Cool. I can't wait to be immersed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tomas.
Yeah.
What is something that we can look forward to you from the future? Any passion projects that you have coming up?
Every time, every show, every day. Just today, people were asking me about Last of Us, to do all that, to do you got to do Last of Us, and that. The problem is, for so long, I have delayed my passion projects, and I'm at a point now where I'm lucky enough to where I don't need to fall into that fan art and do the least resistance, and to do a drawing that, while I love that show, I really want to work on my own stuff more than to do another Joel, but it's a constant battle. It's
absolutely.
a constant battle. But thankfully, at least for me, my passion has ruled over my necessity, and I've developed a foundation to where now I can purely create my passion projects without fear of homelessness. And
Very
so
true.
it is,
Or putting food in your mouth.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Because you can't pay an electrical bill with aspirations, and so so that's where I'm at right now.
Very well put. All right. How's it going? I'm here with My Van. Have you ever found yourself kind of anxious when you're about to purchase something and you make that purchase and you might have not exactly wanted to buy that item?
Projects. I always have a lot going on. Right now, I'm writing a sci-fi space adventure story.
Ooh, cool.
It's gonna be. I'm planning it to be a 3-part trilogy. So I'm still working on book 1 right now. It's very early stages. I take a break from writing sometimes and do some concept art from it. So in terms of world building, I feel like I know a lot of people say it starts with character.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like it starts more with a mood.
Interesting.
Maybe because I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So when I'm picturing a scene, I don't necessarily picture the characters talking. I picture where they're sitting and what kind of mood I'm going for.
That's a good concept.
Yeah.
Because your art is very fantastical and having that kind of mood setting, and that's actually really great advice. Yeah. So creators out there, listen to My Van. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cool. Can you tell me some of the projects that you've been working on and certain world building milestones that you've accomplished?
All the time. I'm naturally kind of an anxious person anyway. I can't think of anything specific, but regret, I don't think so. I make the best of it afterwards. This is cool. There was one story. Okay, so it's not really an anxious story though. But one time, me and my brother were at San Diego Comic-Con, and he's the kind of guy that's he wants to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So at one point, everyone started running for this line, and he started shoving me. He's like, get in line. I was just like, wow, we don't even know what the line is. But we got in line, and it was for this Power Ranger headgear thing that we weren't even going to buy, but we were in line, so we're like, I guess we're buying it.
That's so spot on.
I didn't want to get out of line at that point, so I'm like, no, we got in line, we're going to buy it.
I've literally stood in lines and purchased things that I have no idea what it's about because I'm afraid that I'm I got to miss out. Oh, I got to jump in this line.
I know, this must be something, right? Everyone else is running for it.
That's great. Hey, how's it going? I'm with Dave Dwonch. So, Dave, what is your opinion about independent creators kind of losing the rights to their works and in exchange for kind of a studio aspect or a studio deal?
Hey boy. Okay, so I think most people, because I'm a writer, would want me to say it's an artist, right?
Yeah.
But for me, my favorite project that I've worked on with another person and collaborated and created would be Brockton McKinney. And if Brockton's listening to this, you're gonna have to share the link with me because oh boy, I love this guy. We co-wrote Jenny Zero together for Dark Horse, and we had so much fun doing it, and it was such a give and take, equal relationship. I know that we had that early interview where you said what's acceptable and what's a good creative relationship, and you're like, if you don't like it, get out. If you love it, great, marry them. And Brockton is my work husband for certain. We wrote this thing together in a spontaneous flurry of drunken joy, and we refined it when we were sober, and I think the product speaks for itself. But knowing that it came from two very big hearts, and then also bringing Magenta King into the fold as the artist, and working together. I mean, at the end of the first volume, we all bought each other skateboards with Jenny Zero on it, and now we're all skating around our houses on Jenny Zero skateboards. It's just an honest to God family project. They're my brothers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Kill, Fuck, Marry, Brockton, Masa, Kim.
Well, I'm never one to kick anyone out of bed. Don't tell my wife that.
No, we're good. You're not. Thank you very much, Dave. All right. What's your favorite independent creator that you've worked with on a certain project? And then after that, what other projects do you have coming out?
Oh, okay. So I think that if you're willing to give up your rights, I think that contracts are contracts, right? You just need to get a decent lawyer to explain the ins and outs of it. And then honestly, just like any deal, like a publishing deal, like a multimedia deal, it's about what you're willing to sacrifice for that, right? I mean, we're all adults, so you're going to get in there and you're going to weigh it out, right? Like if it was my one project, the one project that I'm ever going to make, I would never give up the rights to that project, right? But if I'm Dave Dwonch, who makes a ton of stuff, I'm going to be like, well, okay, well, what does that project mean to me personally? Do I need to keep the rights or am I comfortable seeing someone else's vision of my vision out there in the world, right?
Yeah.
So it's literally just varying degrees of acceptability.
Cool.
And I know that sounds nebulous, but for anyone that's out there, if you're questioning whether or not you want to do it, then can I swear?
Yeah.
Don't
absolutely.
fucking do it. If you are good with that,
Yeah.
great, but just always know that there's a chance that what you're going to do could end up in a situation where you're getting paid $5,000 to go to a premiere for your own movie.
Exactly.
And you got to pay for your own hotel, so figure that shit out, right?
You need to be able to accept what you're getting into.
Well, right, and honestly, I think, you and I were just talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
If you see the warning signs in any relationship, then get the hell out of the relationship. But if you feel like you're in a good relationship, then go marry that person.
Absolutely.
It's the same ass deal.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's it.
Cool.
It's pretty simple.
Easy enough. All right. Hey, how's it going? I'm here with Charlie Stickney. So, Charlie, how have you been kind of managing the decrease in paper quality through recent release of comics?
Well, I mean, I'm very fortunate that I find ways, to interconnect the worlds that I'm building.
Yeah.
So when I launched this series, The Game, I used the same artist that I used for White Ash to help bring some of the fan base over.
Cool,
I use
yeah.
a different colorist, Triona Farrell, who's amazing, which gives the book a slightly different feel. But I find ways like that to sort of bring fans from one series to the next series.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And so the game is something that you're coming up with next? When are
So
you
we
gonna-
have issues 2 and 3 of The Game coming out hopefully in about a month and a half, 2 months from now.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Charlie. How have you been dealing with like the transition of through the different series that you've come out with, and what do you have coming up next?
Well, for me, I do this thing called spending more money, because I believe that the integrity of the book is what matters most. So I try to use the highest quality paper stock that I can with my books. This is a 10-point cover that I put on most of my things with 80-pound interiors. This is not the tissue paper that rips easily. This is the genuine stuff.
I tend to steer away from tissue paper with my comics, and I totally agree. Just spend more money and actually produce a great quality product. So I totally stand by that. Hey, how's it going? I'm with Tehani Farr. Now, Tehani, how do you deal with the different cultural and language differences in storytelling? And does that advance or does it inhibit your actual storytelling in projects that you work on?
Yes, this was very crazy. It all happened last year. I was actually at Wondercon of last year,
Really?
and the guys from heavy metal had come over to my stand already. I didn't know this at the time, and I went to their stand because I'm a fan of Luis Royo since I was really young.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that too. Yeah.
And so I went up and I was like, hey, I'd love to work with you. And the editor-in-chief was right there, and he was like, I love your work. Why aren't you already working with us? You're hired.
Yeah.
So like I was hired on the spot. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Afterwards, he asked me, let's do a Tarna together. And so what I did was I did a homage. I did a homage.
However you want to say it. Homage, homage.
Homenaje.
I
did an homenaje. I hice un homenaje to Luis Royo. That's my main influence in art, in fantasy. So my Tarna is an influence. It's a homage to Luis Royo, to also Alex Ross. The style is influenced by Alex Ross, and my mentor Simon Bisley through the artwork. So whilst I was going through, he was like saying, yes, you can do this, you can do it. He was really pushing me hard doing the work, because I had to do it like in a week and a half. So it was very stressful, and he was there with me saying, push it harder, go harder through it. So it's a homage to these massive figures in fantasy art that have done cover and cover and cover for heavy metal. And at the same time, I was also very much influenced by heavy metal, by music, by operatic metal, and I did it with the music of within interpretation that I felt that was very ad hoc to the vibe of Tarna.
Got it. That beautiful. I can't wait. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Wanted to know, it's very hard not to notice that you have a project coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I'm super excited to hear it.
Different languages.
Yeah.
I feel, as a person that speaks fluently 2 languages, and that have traveled a lot to different places with other languages completely different, especially recently that I just came back from South Africa.
Oh, wow.
What I felt was the being completely ajeno, being an outsider. You see words and you see intonations. You see things in a completely new way. So when you're used to like a name, you're used to John or you're used to Francisco. So
yeah, I see where you're going.
You're just so accustomed to it that it means nothing. It's just a name. It's just your friend from high school. When you come as a new person, when you've never heard John before, you see it like, what does it mean? Where does it come from? What story is behind the name? So it opens up a whole new thing. And I feel it's the same in the culture. When you're used to the big cathedral next to your house or the pyramids that are down the road from your block, it becomes
your norm.
It's just normal. It's a building there that you used to play on when you were a child. But when you come from a different country and you've never seen this before, you see it with a whole new eyes, and you want to investigate. You want to know more about it. So I really feel that not knowing something, it just opens up new possibilities. And at least for me, it makes me so interested in tiny little technicism, tiny things, especially about names. I'm very much into knowing people's stories, where it comes from, what it means, what language it originates from, how to say it in different languages. Like my own name, Tehani, is in English, but the origination of my name is Persian. It comes from the Middle Eastern lands, and originally it's called Tehani. So it's from Iraq, from Iran. Tehani, and it means the person that comes from afar in the name of Allah. And then in Mexico, people say Tehani or Tehani. So it's like a whole different view of just one name, and I get it all the time. So I'm fascinated.
I have a neighbor. Her name is Hazmig, and it's Jasmine. And it's from Lebanon.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, and then in some it's Hazmig and Hazmig, and just different iterations. That's very well put, and it does show in your art that you have like a different cultural influences. I really enjoy that.